So let's talk about um which other one. We talked about school when
Yeah.
things changed. So now when things changed and we had to change school, well, someone and I had to, let me say myself, I had to change school and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a situation where the friends that I kept or that I had then,
Yeah.
we, how do I put it? So I remember seeing some of those friends later on, maybe at events and all of that, and the way they would act towards me was really off. It was only one of them, Toluwani, that we met at one maybe wedding or birthday party. I can't remember. She was the only one that I would say that acted like, oh, we're still cool.
So
Like,
yeah.
did you have that? Because I know you eventually went to a public secondary school. The public
Yes.
secondary school I went to, that's where you went. So, did you have situations like that where your friends from your private school, private primary school?
Actually, I didn't meet like a lot of them until when I was in like senior secondary.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like everyone in every like after confirm,
Mm.
everyone just went like different ways
Yeah.
because the fact that we still lived in that area,
Mm-hmm.
we say let me just put it like we're confined to the resources per se in that area. So that
Mm-hmm.
means the schools,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
churches and all. So excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So for others, I think it will be the same for them because most of them private school. You understand?
Yeah.
They would not want to. Which other secondary school was in that area at that time? I think it was
Just Jextoban,
Jestoban,
Gladys,
Gladys, yes, maybe Mary. No,
no, they
Mary didn't
didn't.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
didn't have
have secondary.
secondary, but yeah,
As food,
as
comfort,
food, yeah,
comforter.
comforter.
Um,
Yes, and the fact that they were in different.
Excuse me. Continue.
Okay, and the fact that they were in different areas and different places, it actually, how do I say it? It didn't facilitate like face to face like
Mm-hmm.
interactions, meeting in the same space, meeting
Mm-hmm.
in. I wasn't able to. I didn't experience until after let's say my lesson when I went to Venus lesson
I also
for
went to winners
yeah
lesson.
went to Venus lesson for
Tutorial.
tutorials for yes for I think what was it?
I
Not
didn't even know you went to winners.
I went to Venus as well.
Oh, I
I
went
went
to
to
winners. Someone
Venus.
went to winners.
Yeah. So that's how I didn't experience it
But
like
I
that.
experienced that, so we went to from Alapere, then different secondary school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to a public secondary school. Shout out to
Yeah.
comprehensive Agidi.
And community.
Agidi and community. By the way, my set was the first set that made up community senior
Senior.
I. So I remember when some of my classmates then they because we grew up in the same vicinity, like you said, those private secondary schools were the private
Yes.
secondary schools they attended. Meanwhile, I had some of my classmates from Confab that I still met in Alapere Primary School.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then secondary school, some of them that finished in Confab, we
Mm-hmm.
still met in Agidi.
Like
We still met in comprehensive.
oh wow.
So it wasn't like we're not that close anymore. Some of them I wasn't close to them. I wasn't close to them when we were in confab, right?
Yeah.
But it was just the sense of, oh, look at my old
Old
classmates, look at my
classmates.
friends, and all that and all that. But I remember there was one particular one I can never forget. There's one private secondary school close to our place. There are a couple, I don't want to mention their name, but some of my friends were there. Some of my classmates, my old friends from confab were there. And when we close on Fridays, we close almost at the same
Oh
time.
yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes even on weekdays, we close almost at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
you're passing and then you
You
see
see.
you see
Yeah.
them and all of that. So sometimes, no, I felt like it affected me a little bit because then it was now obvious that things were different. It was obvious that, oh, I'm in a public secondary school. Like it was just there, the differences were there, right?
Yeah.
But I remember Toluwani in Jextoban. I'm still mentioning her name. I haven't seen her in years now. I don't know where she is. Hopefully, unfortunately, I've forgotten her surname. But Toluwani was in Jextoban. And I remember one Friday we were closed and we're all, some of us that attended private secondary school, we will not pass Jextoban area. Or when we pass, we just do ice fronts because we don't want, like, you for us, we're expecting that, oh, my friend now will
Yeah,
all
you all
go,
can.
but they'll just, even from Gladys, they'll just,
Show me face.
and you're like, this is somebody that we shared same biscuit, same sweet, we played together in primary school, and then secondary school, because I'm not attending a different school, you don't want, like, it was there. But I remember
Yes.
Toluwani for a very long time. She would always say hello to us. So anytime I pass there, I always look forward to seeing Toluwani because I know that Tolu would say hello. Like there was a time she was really excited to see us. She came, I think it was Yemi and I that were working that time, or me and a couple of my friends. And then she was really excited to see. My friend was like, "Oh, where do you know?" I'm like, "Oh, we're attending the same primary school together and all that." So I feel like even in junior secondary school, I don't know if this happened to you, but my self-esteem was slightly affected because remember my own story. I did spelling bee competition
Yeah.
for Lagos State government. So the
Got a
community
scholarship for
gave
it.
me,
Yeah,
yeah,
you got a
just
scholarship
over.
for it.
I missed the entrance examination date because we filled the form. Daddy filled the form for me. Then they took the form back to Alausa instead of taking it to just over.
Oh.
So we know the Jackson family. So we reached out and said, oh, that even if they can get that form that we filled, that I can write my exam again. But we couldn't get the form again. And Jackson cannot give me the form because it was the community that got the form on my behalf. I don't even know the entire story, but I know that we couldn't get the form. So it's like I'm supposed to be in this school. I don't know if you remember, there's one auntie in Gladys. I was doing they had to do I had to go into Gladys during the holidays for extra coaching. We used the Ugosugo. Then I forgotten her name, but she was their computer teacher that year. This is over 12. How many years ago now? This is
Very long time.
years ago.
Years ago.
I've forgotten her name, but she was a computer teacher. She was always that teacher that said Abigail struggles with math. I've always struggled with math all my life. Like I don't like math. I don't know, for some reasons I don't just get the concept. But when it comes to words, despite the fact that I struggled with a little bit of words, but Alapa primary school really helped with my spelling. But the spelling that helped me was because of our childhood, the reading. I would always read newspaper in the Ajiboye's house. So I really, interestingly, I used to struggle with reading and spelling and pronunciation. But reading all of those things, reading the Bible at home, daddy telling us, oh, go and read your books. Then I'll go to the Ajiboye's house, read newspapers. It exposed me to a lot of words. So I found that interest. It covered my lapses a lot. And I went to Alakwa primary school that they now discovered that, oh, Abigail loves words. Abigail loves to read. So they just put me in that spelling bee, this thing. And then I remember after school, Mr. Folabi, our full master, we used to call him master. Then shout out to him. Mr. Jimo was the math teacher in Alakwa primary school. I'm going to put the names of my teachers there because in public school then you have A and B in one class. I cannot forget Mrs. Odubote. Mrs. Odubote was one of the teachers that discovered my love for talking and teaching. I told her I wanted to be a teacher. When they were asking what do you want to become, I told her I wanted to be a teacher. And then one particular day in class, it was CRS, and she told me, can you explain? I said, yeah. No, she was teaching. And I said, excuse you, leave the mirror. She really loves mirrors, don't forget. I said, I told her I wanted to be a teacher. Then she was explaining. I told her I know the story. And she was like, oh, and because I wanted to be a teacher, so she told me to come to the front of the class and explain. And that was when my confidence. So when I joined Alakwa primary school, my confidence shook a little bit. But it was Mrs. Odubote that really helped. So speaking in front of classmates, people that I don't really know before.
Yeah.
Like it just helped. Like I always talk. I know that math. If I see, I've not reached out to her in years. I have the contact of her son. Was also in my class. We're really close then in primary school. But she's one of the people that I'm blessing God. I'm asking God for that. God just bless me. Other time I ask someone, I'm like, where will this money reach? Like those kind of people, I want to give them millions. You know what I'm saying? I might say, especially Mrs. Odubote, Jesus. I want to give her millions. Like, ma, take.
You deserve,
You deserve more than it too. Because if I start talking about my teaching journey, Mrs. Odubote was one of the people that taught me. She may not know what she has done, but she really helped build that confidence. Imagine a young child now, you don't know this way. I said, oh, you want to be a teacher? Oh yeah, now let's start. Oh yeah, explain CRS since you know it. and all of that. That's how I started. That's where my confidence level started from. I mean, I see people that I don't know, so I'm talking, and then I'll read from the board. She tell me read from the board and explain your own words. That's then I now went to primary six. A full master is a full master, Mr. Jimo, my Mrs. Akinyosoye, Mrs. Oh, why am I forgetting my main class teacher's name? But my mom is in touch with her since that. I will put her name on the screen by God's grace. Hopefully, I remember. But those teachers helped shape my confidence, so I didn't really feel it anymore. So now, I was not thinking, well, I'll go to Jextober, the primary life. Finally, the reward of my labor, only for that thing to happen, I couldn't go anymore. That's why I lost the scholarship. And I went to Agidi. I remember then, I don't know if you can. It wasn't your mom's school, and I would cry. I don't want to go to Agidi because then Agidi was really notorious for really. They'll say, oh, they used to kill students. That you just pass the school, you see headless people on the road that they used to fight. And we used to hear cultists. And we had neighbors that were attending, whose children were attending that school. So, and I remember I would cry. They'll say there are no chairs, there are no benches. Then there were no chairs and benches in school. Did you experience
Uncle
it?
Tempe, they know.
You did.
I did not actually.
You hey, Ife.
An extension of.
Even another primary school was better because I mean I we had chairs and table. But we didn't have. Then your parents will knock chairs and table for you.
Mm-hmm.
Carry chairs and table.
Yeah, carry chairs, yes.
Or use padlock to lock it in school. It was really messy, and they will steal your chair and your thing.
And the classes are always crowded.
Jesus.
Always crowded. Always crowded.
So it affected me. Oh, it affected my junior secondary school to be precise. I was not a prefect now, but I was a class captain. But that was because my teacher, Mrs. Muibat, is it Muibat? Muiba? Forgotten her name. She was the one who discovered me, but she discovered me late, maybe end of JSS2 almost. That's when she discovered it. Then I always carry 6th position, 7th position. And there was time I changed my result. I changed my result.
Changed your result.
I used pen to. I was struggling then now.
Anyway.
I was struggling because there were a lot of crowd, and I wanted my daddy to be proud of me. Because imagine from Alakwa primary school, you were carrying first, second, third. Like if they will count first 5.
Yeah, you'll be.
They will count me. Then I went to a school that they don't even know me. There was no, we were a lot, so I don't blame the teachers then, but they really tried. They really tried. But I struggled. My junior secondary school, I struggled with my self-esteem. I struggled with people. I was bullied though. Did I ever tell you? No, then I still had an accent. Now I was always speaking English. My name is Abigail. I'm 7 years old.
That is one thing you should not do in a public.
I did not know in my primary, my public primary. I was speaking my spray English, and they encouraged it. Like my phonetics. I was speaking all of the English, all of the sounds, and all of that. I went to Agidi. One time, just as one, they bullied.
They removed everything.
It was Yoruba up and down. We speak Yoruba at home.
Yes.
With our mom. We speak English with our dad. Can you imagine? We speak Yoruba with our mom. She's going to be jealous now. We speak English to our dad, Yoruba to our mom. That's what helped our Yoruba speaking this thing because of our mom.
And understanding.
Yeah, and understanding.
Yeah.
But it was because I don't even know whether you want to enter my mouth as I'm talking. What do you want?
There you go.
You're down. We're recording.
Let's go.
Say, I know you are the stubborn one. Say, down.
It's okay.
Down. Get down. Okay, if you can sit as my record here, you don't want to enter my mouth, it's fine. What do you want? Can you imagine? I should rub you. Anyways, so they bullied I remember the my bully, Mary, Ruth, that carcass. I remember people. Although I think Mary apologized. No, Mary bullied. I think Ruth apologized in maybe JSS2 or JSS3 or so. But Mary continued. Oh God. Then I would design stuff like wedding cards with paper. I was a creative. Oh. I was a creative. It was these girls that bullied that thing out of me. They would take it, they would tear it. They were just looking for my trouble. And I didn't know who to report to. Our teachers, they had staff room. Everything was just new to me. It wasn't like when your teachers would sit with
Sit with
you.
you in the class
Those girls bullied
and monitor a
me.
lot of things.
They bullied me. Even with chair and table, don't come early to quickly enter the class or put your bag on the chair to book a seat.
You
By
won't
the
get
time you come
this.
back after assembly, you don't get a seat. Or maybe after assembly, you go quickly enter the class, sit down. It was really messy. Then most of those girls they had boy issues too. There was one guy, I remember his name Festus, very fair. God will judge you, Festus. Because you were part of the people that blew. Because I kept telling Festus, leave me alone, leave me alone. He liked me. Then I didn't. So he liked almost every girls because he was fair. The girls were like fawning over him and all that. But me, I wasn't interested. Like I've never been interested in boys from the beginning, right? It was maybe my senior secondary school, or maybe after I started to know what a crush was and all that. But I wasn't interested. And Festus, you see that I'm not interested. I just want to read novels and be
And be
okay.
on your own.
And that's how his attention now shifted to me. And those girls showed me pepper. I think that was the beginning of the bullying because Festus showed my attention. Those girls showed me pepper. Showed me pepper. So did you experience bullying or not?
Not really.
Oh.
No. If I would say I experienced bullying anyway, it would be when the guys, or let me say men in the class, are doing something interesting
Mm.
and you want to involve yourself, and what you'll be confronted with will be insults, or this, let me say, how would I put it, like playful insults that would they say among themselves that it's totally okay, but to me it is actually hurtful.
Yeah,
You
you're not
understand?
used to. We
I'm
were
not
not
used
used
to.
to people insulting us like that, like that. We came from a very loving home. But so now I understand that those people was because of the kind of homes they came
And the
from
environment
and the
that they lived
environment.
in. Yeah,
God.
so it's yeah, that was like the highest form of bully I think I ever experienced. I think that would be it.
Like in our compound then as 38, the adults were like really friendly, they were close, they had their differences, right? But everybody respected each other,
Yes.
children played together,
Mm-hmm.
like that, like that, like that. So you're not coming to meet people that in their compound like this, hey, they wake up with
We
shouting
shout, yeah,
and
yeah.
curses and insults. So it really, I'm just glad that we didn't imbibe that because I know some of my friends that, well, maybe not, they didn't exactly have like our own childhood, but that
Mm-hmm.
school changed them.
Change them
It
a lot.
changed them. I remember friends that I could no longer talk to by the time we were in JSS3 because they had joined the bad
The bad
gang.
gang
God, and
and
it was painful. Like, see this, there's one particular guy, I don't want to mention his name, but when confab together, he even finished in confab, or maybe he left in between. I think his mom was late, his dad remarried, we met in Agidi, and I was really like, boy was very let me say a story. Remember I said I dislike math. So we had Mr. Folabi in confab, two
mm-hmm.
different I had Mr. Folabi in confab, I had in Alapo in primary school.
Adding.
So Mr. Folabi in confab was my class teacher at some point in primary four. So he was teaching, he had taught a math concept for, I can't remember the math concept. For somebody who remembers a lot from my childhood, I can't remember that, but I just knew that I didn't know the answer. And the man did it, and he was like, whoa, that, no, like, that's, he thought, he kept teaching me, but it wasn't entering for some reasons. So how the teacher will say, what is my cane? What is my cane? I started to swear like, hey, and they don't beat me in school. Like I was a very good child. This would be the first time Mr. Fo would want to beat me. And it was like, oh, you don't like, he kept asking me, oh, I just kept looking. I think I felt I was saying wrong answers. I just kept looking. By the way, this particular experience shaped my teaching career. So it was not like, oh, where's the cane? Where's the cane? When he didn't have cane in his class, so he went to another class to go and get cane.
Again.
So I don't know why he did that. In retrospect, if I would do that, I don't use cane to beat anyways. But if I would do that, it would be like maybe I'm giving the child the opportunity to get it again. But then when he came back, he actually came back with cane. But guess what? This is my classmate, a guy. that I met, that we still met in
Met in
Agidi,
Agidi.
quickly told me the answer. He was very good in math. He was very good in math. He told me the answer. So I was told him the answer when Mr. Afu came back. So what's the answer now? This, that. And I told him the answer. Now look at it, said God saved you. But I knew that he figured that somebody had told him the answer. But he just
But yeah, they just.
I suspect maybe later in the future I will bring him here and out, but I'm very sure he can never remember. But may I remember, and then that's how I escaped. But this guy, and I met him in Agidi, and he was doing so well in math. I think he was in my class at some point. Then they now separated us. We now had GSS 2L because we were a lot that year.
A, B, C,
Yes,
just think of
GSS
it.
one A, GSS no, in GSS one we had like just a few. Leave her alone, mind your business. You start grabbing and sit boy. So in GSS two we had GSS two K, GSS two L, like
Just imagine.
GSS two A, B, C, D, like A and B were in a class. Before A, B, C, D were in a class. Now when they now erected those buildings that kept collapsing and collapsing. In fact, I remember one building that fell down because they were using. That's with the government.
That's
But
with the
eventually, they now started to like really build nice buildings for public schools. But then we're almost out of secondary school.
Imagine how crowded a class has to be for them to take it from A to L.
Yeah,
Just
we
imagine.
had GSS 2J. I think
G.
K and L. Was it were a lot
Oh
of.
my days.
So it now fell into the other extension. Me, I was in GSS 2B. I think I'd always been in B. I'd always been in B. So I remember very good in math, he was doing well and then he joined background and by SS. I'm not even sure he finished SS with us. I'm not sure he finished it. But right then, even when I was young, I was like, I just wish this boy had the money. That if he had a money, he would have been better off. Something like that. He's going to meet her because he's jealous. So if she was here, he'll come to meet me. I don't blame him. It's your nap time. Oh. In fact, past your nap time, I'm not sure they slept. So yeah, I was bullied in junior secondary school. We were a lot. My class teacher then, I've forgotten her surname, but I think it's Muiba or something. But Miss Muiba, she tried. By the time she discovered me, it was in GSS 3 or end of GSS 2 taught them. So it was already too late then. But she made me a class captain in GSS 3 or GSS 2. That's when she observed that, oh, Abigail is actually. I don't blame her. She had a lot. She had a lot of kids to be responsible for.
Yeah.
And then my senior secondary school was a breeze. Like we were less. Then they now divided the school. We were less, so we had more attention on us. But now, were you ever pressured like science, commercial arts, and all that?
To be fair, to be fair, I feel like I was pressured in a way. Let me put it this way.
Who
So
pressured you?
nobody. I feel like not okay. We
Did you sorry? Did you
self.
read Ben Carson?
No, I did not read. Okay, so the fact that she was the one that made me start reading.
Hey, I'm just sharing this for the first time.
Yes.
Oh yeah, give me my flowers.
So the way it is that even Samuel
Mm.
Egbomi, he
Someone is the one that
in
there's a
between,
brother
yes.
between us.
So I feel like he copied it from you, I copied it from him. Because he would always go to the Ajiboye's place to read the newspapers, and I always do the same because it's like a trend.
By the way, I used to go to the Advice house to read newspaper because all of the books in my father's house,
We finished
I've
it.
read them.
And then just
Story
said
books.
everything.
So at that point, I would exchange books with my classmates. I'll buy novels, story books, we'll exchange like that. So that was how I was, reading. So as a boy, I'd read all the books in my father's house. Aside the Yoruba books, of course. So I would move to my neighbor's house. And then they would always buy newspaper.
Yes.
It was a constant Saturday point. There's one fair man that will come and
That woman,
deliver.
yes,
There's Sunday.
yes.
Then
You saw that presses that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
but
Yeah. I saw it recently. Oh.
it's a
I'm
lie.
telling you. I saw it recently. I think
It's a
twice.
lie.
I saw it twice recently.
Very fair guy will come with his newspaper, deliver to them. So I was always excited. I'll go to the house, I'll read the newspaper.
And the crossword puzzles behind
Yeah,
it.
they
The
were.
puzzles and the
Funny enough, as an adult, I downloaded crossword. I still play crossword puzzles. I love crossword puzzles. I really, really love crossword puzzles. So once I go to Saturday point or Sunday, I will first go to the the cartoon section.
Yeah.
I was always following that series.
That's like how it is because I see you people do it
Yeah.
and I do it as well.
I
You see,
mean,
that's the way you pick up like
yeah.
good habits.
And by the way, my elder brother was no longer with us, so I was like the firstborn. But there was no pressure. My parents did not pressure me that although daddy always say set good example, but it was everybody. You told everybody set good
Yes,
example. So it wasn't like
example.
Abigail now. You said no. Abi stay at this place as the firstborn, but he would always tell us set good examples. Remember the child of who you are. You know your good name. You know this and that. So my father made us proud of ourselves,
Yeah.
like just do good, be good, your name is very important, blah blah blah. It really it talks really, even though it's discipline techniques, we don't really agree with it. It's not we don't we never agree with my father's way of discipline. Just hey Jesus.
He has his ways. He has his ways.
Speaking of discipline, let's talk about discipline. How was
Bro,
it?
let me talk about how pressure
Yeah.
the pressure of joining science. So obviously Brother was
In
science class.
Me.
You also she was in science class. For me, then I say yes, I used to be, let me say, an artist.
Yeah.
A very good artist.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I knew how to draw. I knew how to draw things like by heart, by head. I was even drawing a lot of writing a lot of comic books. Even from primary to junior secondary, I was drawing a lot of comics and everything. I still have some even right now, the pictures of some. So then I was trying to like think between going into art because I know how to draw and two, I love animals.
Then I didn't introduce school counselor.
No.
Okay, so then in public secondary school there was nothing like school counselor.
There was nothing like school counselor. There was nobody you could talk to that would. So as young as, let me say, as young as I was, I had to like, how would I say it? It was like you said, it's not like pressured. I was not pressured. But I just had to like sit down and do any mini manimal. Any mini manimal, which one do I really love? And yes, what I really loved fell towards sciences. I wanted to become a pilot.